This is Brother Carter with Tasteful and Toxic. I also have my lovely wife with me.
Val.
Hey, Val. Be sure and tune in to us every Wednesday morning at 8 a.m.
Don't sleep on us, baby. Get up, get your coffee. Tune in.
We love you. God bless you. We'll see you Wednesday. Hush your face.
I want to talk about something.
Yeah.
Today we are talking about how your partner is not a project. How you are not a hammer and it's not your job to fix people. That's what we're talking about.
That's what we're talking about right there.
I think you're on to something.
I'm on. Welcome back to another popping episode of Tasteful and Toxic. It's your co-host, Steph Cash.
Yeah.
With the number one host, Brother Carter, our guy.
Yeah.
You know, I'm a OG to the Carter crew.
Uh-huh.
And today we have two lovely guests on our show. I'm going to let them introduce themselves.
Yes.
All right, Tiara, you go.
My name is Tiara Sade, and I'm very happy to be here.
Wow, it's so
She
poised.
said that's so
My name is Valerie
pretty.
Carter, and I'm extremely happy to be here.
Oh, well, come on, extremely.
Did that thing just...
No, you
play?
still going. Keep going.
So we're going to be talking about today how your partner is not a project and how you are not a hammer and it's not your job to fix people. When I say that your partner is not a project, what is invoked in your mind?
Well, since you asked the question, what's invoked in your mind?
I don't know, co-host.
Okay. What that said, you want to take it? Oh, what I think when I hear that, I think about we always want to fix people in our image and how we want them to be because that's how we measure ourselves. And so we want them to be who we are. And we're not even giving the same grace to ourselves. You know,
Yes.
So that's what I think when someone's trying to fix me, they're fixing me up in the way that they view me to be.
Because we think that we know best for other people.
Yes, but not even for ourselves. Ouch.
Bar.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what do you?
I mean, same thing. Like, a project is something that you kind of take out of your imagination and you put that and shape, mold, whatever into what you want it to be. So I think it's kind of when we like to play God and we're not God.
Now that's a good one there.
That's
That's real good. We want to play God with somebody else.
You've stepped into a role that you're not even remotely equipped for. The damage that you could potentially do.
Oh, that's good.
Do you find it often, should I say, male versus female, just trying to fix the other? Is it more women trying to fix males to be like them, or is it more males trying to fix women to be in the woman that they want you to be?
I've seen both.
Yeah.
I've seen both. I've seen women, and I think you probably see it a little bit more often because we look at potential and we'll settle for potential. And generally, not completely, but generally, if a man can see that you are or are not what they want, that's how they make a decision.
Yep.
If they say
When
that
you
this
say
is what
potential, you see a man as he have the potential to be.
he's
what
not
I
yet
need
who
him
he
to
will
be.
be.
A
But he not
project.
yet,
Yeah, like there's some changes, and I think some men too like are more along the lines of like, I don't want you to change. I want you to be the way that you are when I met you. I don't want you to change, and I think women, we're counting on you to change.
That's real
That's
good.
really good.
That's really
That's
good because it's funny you say that because the man, in most cases, and Peace jump in, I believe the man, when he finds he literally takes it literally. He finds his wife. This is what I like about my wife. This is why I'm choosing you. And when that woman tend to evolve or grow, it puts them in sometime in an uncomfortable because now you're changing. Either you're not, and they could be viewing, and sometimes women, is that person is not happy. What are you doing? And it has nothing to, it's just natural that you're going to be changing.
Yeah.
We're going to change over time.
Evolution.
period.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think
But
that's,
just you don't want to lose the core of who you are. Don't go changing trying to please me.
yeah.
You know,
Yeah. That's
And I
good.
think when you
never
notice
let
that,
me down before.
Right. He going to sing a song for us now.
come on, jukebox.
Yeah. Okay.
I think to that point, when someone is changing, it either shows you that you aren't and that you need to maybe make some adjustments yourself, or you become resentful, and bitter, and then you stifle your own growth because you are looking at what they're doing and how they're changing and thinking that you need to measure that.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think, but from a clinical perspective, do you think that people don't want to evolve because they are fearful? Like, I'll say for myself, one of the things that I struggled with for a long time is, as a young person, was standing up reading in front of people. Okay. So then when I had to start doing it, every time I had to do it, I went back to that little kid because I was teased. Yeah. And so if you take that as in life and evolving, do you think people struggle with seeing you evolve and they're struggling that you're not going to be comfortable or safe with them? You're not going to want them anymore? Is that making sense what I'm saying?
Yes, I mean, and that does happen.
Yeah.
Sometimes you connect and you're both in a very unhealthy place in your life. Mm-hmm. And when one person starts to become more healthy, their lens, it becomes clearer on life. Mm-hmm. Sometimes that does happen. Sometimes that is the outcome. And sometimes that's what's best. Mm-hmm. Because you aren't aligned. You aren't compatible. Yeah. Mm-hmm. You are compatible in your pain. But as that person evolves and they grow and they metamorphosis happens and they evolve into this beautiful creation that God has always known them to be. Mm-hmm. Again, you're looking and you're introspective because basically like ketchup, mustard. Yeah. If you're not growing too, then you see the deficit when that person who is close to you is growing and they're evolving. And then there's friction in that relationship because again, you all aren't aligned. You aren't on the same playing field. Yeah.
So as a clinical person, what would you suggest to someone that's out here listening that's in that place? What would you suggest to them to do to fix it? Or is there something that they can do?
Don't force growth on your partner because then you turn them into a project.
No, I'm talking about the individual.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. So the individual, I would say continue to seek help, continue to do what you're doing. But as you become healthier, don't try to push that on the other person because it could still be a viable relationship. That person is just like everyone growing at their own pace.
Yeah. Yes.
So loving, supporting, uplifting, challenging, encouraging, correcting, that's going to be more beneficial than criticizing and being judgmental towards your partner.
100%.
Because like you all have grown together, but I'm sure you all have not always grown at the same pace.
No.
Yeah.
And see, I'm hearing you guys talk about elevation and evolving. And a lot of times you speak of this quite often. When you meet someone, you meet the representative. Mm-hmm. And so a lot of time when you see the elevation or the evolving of an individual, they was always that individual. You just met the representative prior to.
100%.
And now you're seeing who the real person is now, and you have a problem with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
and that's what causes friction.
Absolutely.
And
so I like what your discord. I like what you're saying.
Talk back to me if you can.
I like what you're saying too. So what you're saying is that person was always that person that was going to evolve when you met them, but you were that person that was here and okay, but not you, but you were okay with being here, and as that person evolved into who they were always going to be,
we can use us as an example.
Okay.
We can use us as an example. I don't have a problem with that.
Yeah.
I always seen you as somebody that was going to, anybody that leave 15 jobs in a year's time is destined to be doing something great in life. Period. That girl be on the job 2-3 days and say, Lawrence, they told me to sweep the floor. I say, come on home, baby.
I would call him, baby. Today is the day. Come on home, baby.
Come on home.
That's what I want. That's what I want to hear.
Literally.
It's gonna
They don't deserve you.
That's right.
It's gonna be all right because I know she can't take instructions from people.
But
No, that's the truth, Val. We gonna talk the truth on this show. You do not accept instructions very well. I remember when she was a young lad talking about she was gonna join the army, and I said, "Baby, you're not gonna make it. You're not gonna make it 3 days because you can't accept someone hollering and directing you and telling you what to do.
Because that's not how my friend receives stuff.
No.
Come correct with my friend.
I don't.
You can't receive that. And so I knew one day she was gonna leave. When she left corporate America, I was not
shocked.
No, I mean 90 $50K a year, whatever the
$100.
price would have been at the time, a normal man would have said, you crazy? But
Clean that up, Abigail.
are you crazy? But no, we have to allow. I think we already knew who she was destined to be.
you're right.
Yes,
Let's just keep going.
Yeah, we got to keep going.
you understood that she had somewhere else to be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I knew I was not going to be the man like a lot of men that see
That's gonna push her back to go.
to see they woman evolving
Absolutely.
or elevating, should
Absolutely.
I say. I was not going to be the man like I seen several other men be
Right.
Yeah.
that say, no, you trying
on
to do
that
too
jump.
much right now. You're trying to do too much.
Yeah.
Because that diminishes them as men. That's how they
Yep,
felt.
yep, absolutely.
Yeah.
But I was a different way of thinking myself. I was like, the more you evolve, hell, the more we evolve.
100%.
Yes.
You know, it's
And
not,
actually, the truth be told, he is the one that encouraged me to follow my dream.
That's a
You
good
know,
man.
it's because of him that I am true. That's why I say all the time, we can be very transparent and honest with each other. I was sick and tired of playing the corporate game. I couldn't do it anymore. I was pouring everything in.
rat race.
And he said, baby, just do it for yourself. You've been doing it for everybody else.
you've been doing it.
And that the flip side of that is what you're saying. A man that is not so caught up in their insecurities, in their self, can recognize, and you saw exactly who I
Yeah.
am and who I was from the beginning.
yeah, see, I'm a blue collar worker, right? Okay. Never been a white collar worker in my life. And so if I stay stuck in my own way of thinking, we would only evolve as blue collar individuals.
Lifestyle.
That's the lifestyle that we would have all the rest of our lives. And I know you would be totally miserable
Yeah.
with just existing.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
And so I don't want to take over your show or nothing.
No, this is really good.
Yeah.
What was the title?
The title was "Your Partner's Not a Project."
That's right.
Yeah.
So you-
that part.
Yeah.
Yes. So you didn't try to fix me and tell me that I had to do this. You just allowed God to do what he was going to do, and you were supportive in that journey
Yeah.
for me because you saw me.
But at the same time, as a human being, we do want to
Yeah.
Control.
You didn't try to
Project-
fix me in that part.
projectalize
Yeah.
our.
Did he say?
Yes, I did.
He said projectilize.
We do want to projectalize our partners to a certain level. And y'all know what I'm saying. I know y'all laughing, but you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
But yeah, we all have that
true.
concept within us.
Yeah.
that we want to we want to mold and shape
Yeah.
People the way we want them
things
to
we
be.
want to,
I think on some level, it's kind of like the iron sharpens iron. So like your partner's life should significantly get better when they get with you and vice versa. I think sometimes the potential part, like a lot of us see the potential and then it's like, oh, I can take them, or if they could just get this, they can go from here to there. And I think it's important for all of us to like focus more on attributes than accolades. So like it's not about, for instance, the fact that a man makes a lot of money because he's successful in his career. It would be more about the fact that this is a man that is not willing to settle. This is a man that's willing to put in the work, or woman. This is somebody who, when we raise our children, we're not just going to, tell them, let's get by on the bare minimum. If you already got like a check coming in every month, that's good enough. You don't need to go out and do more. Like it's more about the attributes than the accolades. So I think to some extent, we do become a project, but not of my own vision, just of like, dang, like, babe, you are really good at this. Like, you are really good at bringing people together, or you are just a really good leader. Every time you're with your friends, or every time you're at work, you're always casting a vision and other people buy into it because you have a way of sharing it that makes them want to. So you can pour into and you know, make a project a little bit in that way, but it's when you're trying to completely change and the attributes of a person.
Of who that person is.
Yeah, like there's differences in like what you can
That's real
invest in.
good. That's real good.
And you're changing them to fit what you deem to be worthy.
Yeah.
Right.
Ooh.
Yes.
And you're seeing also from a distorted lens.
Yes.
Wow.
That's why it's so important to heal before you date, because then you're dating and you're desperate.
Ooh. Ooh.
And that's when you start, you're literally grappling for straws.
Dating and you're desperate, and then you become. I had another word to rhyme with that. I lost it though.
project
Yeah.
I want to add to that where like
Receptive is what I want.
Dating and you're desperate, so then you're not receptive.
Then you become receptive to any and everything.
Okay.
There you go.
I was gonna say that with the ex-boy, he was constantly telling me that, like, Anna, you're changing. I don't know. I don't see the woman I fell in love with or something like that. And I'm like, I don't understand. Like, we're going through changes. We're going to change. Like, yeah, you can't keep putting me in the box of where I was when you met me because I'm no longer there. You know, I know I'm trying to evolve myself. So I understand why some things maybe don't match up to the initial woman you met, but it's simply because I have to get out of there, right? I have to evolve and I have to become a better woman.
I think it's key on that aspect when you're in a relationship that you have these discussions with your mate, showing them where you're trying to go in life and what you want to do in life versus just doing it and all of a sudden he turn around, you was here, and then all of a sudden you here, and then he's like, damn, she done left me, really.
Yes. So in other words, what I'm hearing you say, it helps when you start, when you're, you have a conversation, talk about, you know, my plan is, and he's always known that my plan was to be an entrepreneur. I came from entrepreneur background, my family. So I knew that I never had a desire to work for someone long term. He knew it, but how that looked and what that was going to be, we had no clue.
And I think to that point, you have to be, sorry, I have a peppermint in my mouth. You have to be conscious not to date solely based off of the person that you are right now.
Yes.
Yeah.
What are your long-term goals? Are you connecting with the person who is going to honor and uplift those long-term goals, who are going to be in alignment with those goals? Because if you're only marrying for right now, knowing that you're going to change, you're going to grow, you're going to evolve, hopefully into a better, stronger, healthier version of yourself, more success, all of these things that you truly desire. I firmly believe that who you connect with really dictates how far you go.
100%. Hands down.
And Stephanie, I like what you said there, but at the end of the day, you'll never know where your spouse gonna be 5-10 years from now.
That's
You
true.
know, that individual, you may be traveling one direction at this time and y'all kind of both traveling in the same direction. You don't know what life gonna throw at.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
You don't know what's going to happen throughout this journey called life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that individual may not be able to meet you.
Yeah.
Where you going? What you do then?
That could totally happen.
Yeah.
What you do then? You just say, oh, you not meeting me over here, so
No, I don't think you discard.
I'm just saying, you know.
But I think making an informed decision initially helps.
Yes.
So when you get to that place, did that person have an attribute that they, or a quality of resilience? Did they possess a quality of, you know,
Did they even have a willingness to even want to do anything more? Because if you don't have a conversation, if a person is set in their mind, all I want to do is be.
You want to know you got a fighter in your life.
Yes. All I want to do is just do this.
100%.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so you got to have that conversation. You got to really pay attention to what you're hooking up with.
And then think about the changes in life that are inevitable. Are you with the person who can support you when your parents pass?
That's the first thing
That
I
is
think
inevitable.
about.
They're gonna die.
Yeah. Yes.
You're gonna lose a job.
Yeah.
Are you with someone who is willing to support you in a low season when your hope levels are low? Some of that you can dictate.
You can.
But a lot, like you said, the future is cast. Only the Lord knows,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
But there are some things that are in your control. That person showed you early on that they were stubborn and they had a resistance to change.
And it's not just based on what they say. It's not just a Q&A. It's about
the conversation.
going back to attributes.
It's this.
Like, do they have resilience
day.
in their own life? Yeah.
Yeah.
Do they have resilience in their own life when they have conflict outside of you? How do they respond to that? How do they respond when they feel like they're being challenged? Like, all of that gives you indication. Are they actually flexible? Do things have
trust
to
and believe,
absolutely go their
those
way?
signs be presented.
They're there. They're
But
always
if you're
there.
dating and you're desperate and you're rushing into things, you have not taken the time to see that person in other seasons of their life. You have not seen when they are financially lacking. You have not seen because you're so excited. You have these googly eyes, these rose-colored glasses on. That's why it's important not to date desperate. Because you're gonna miss the signs and then you're gonna be in a pickle.
That's it
Yeah.
right there.
Twisted up like a pretzel.
Twisted up like a pretzel. Your
And
edges
it's
are gone.
very
You had
important
edges before
what-
you met.
It's very important what she was saying too. When you dating
never lost my
someone,
edges.
when they
Not
get
ever.
challenged, how they handle themselves when they challenge is very, very key.
It
Yeah.
is.
Agree.
Very, very key to the essence of who this individual
You
is.
You better
100%.
believe. Yes.
When you get challenged, you're going to see the real individual at that
Yeah,
point.
You're gonna
and
see
that
if they're
takes
a fighter or
time.
not.
That takes time. That's why you can't walk into relationships with your legs wide open.
Well, it take more than time. It take eyesight. It take taking vision. It
Yeah.
take paying attention.
And it takes
And it
having
take acknowledging
some level of
this man acted a
self-awareness.
fool when he was
Yeah.
challenged about this.
And bring them around your friends so your friends can give you
Friends
their
be
opinion
knowing.
of
Families
that
be
person
knowing.
because they not googly eyed and their
Yeah.
discernment hopefully is on point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it takes a level of self-awareness too, because if you don't know what your own values are, you don't even know what to look for. And when you go on dates and you meet people, your mindset is, I just want somebody, so I'm trying to impress them so they can want me and want to commit to me. Instead of, okay, I know that I'm looking for somebody that is patient. I know I'm looking for somebody that is generous. I know that I'm looking for somebody that is kind. That way you know what you're looking for before you even
But when you
commit.
start dating, you ain't looking at nothing internal. You just looking at external
Well, you
things.
can. There are
but you
things
should
that
in a
there are
relationship.
But you
signs
should.
there
You should,
where
absolutely.
you
should
are
be.
able to see
Well,
how
most
is this
people
person
ignore the
acting with
internal
the wait
things, though.
staff. Like,
Yeah.
Because
No.
they're so
are they asking me,
visualized.
did you get home safely?
Yeah.
Like, there's
Yeah.
little
Yeah.
things that give you signs. I don't think anything just comes completely out of left field.
But you have to value yourself
Yourself
enough to think that you deserve to look for the signs.
Yeah.
People ignore things because they don't value themselves.
Yeah.
And they've idolized and
That's cute.
prioritized
That's cute.
relationships. So they're willing and they've seen people in their life settle and
Yeah, so they settle.
so they're like, oh well, if he
That's
has a
real
good
talk.
job, then because he talks to me crazy, that's okay.
And people act like being single is some sort of
Disease. No. And it's so
not.
funny when you say that people I don't, you just said how, you go off of relationships based off of what you've seen. And so you've seen people that have kind of stayed in it, knowing that you can see that it was unhealthy, but they
Absolutely.
stayed in it. And so then you feel like if you don't stay in it, then you failed. For me, I'm grateful. And I say it over and over again. I'm grateful for him, for Lawrence, wanting us to fight and being there to fight. At the same time, I came from my dad and mom were great parents, but my dad was an unhealthy father. And so my mom stayed in, unhealthy husband. My mom stayed in it. And so I saw staying in it, what that looks like. And so the other side of that for me is I'm not putting up with this.
Yep.
And that can also be just as harsh. And so I thank God for the man that God gave me. Like I say I got the patience.
You just happen to be blessed with a man. Okay, he cool.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm grateful. That's what I'm saying every day. I'm grateful. This was the man that God made for me that he saw long before I knew I was
But
going
that's
to need
not
that.
sugarcoat this here. I ain't always been cool. I was once young and ignorant as hell.
Yes, he was.
Just like most
Him
young
to deliver.
people.
That's a good
Yes.
point to
Yeah.
make
Yes.
too, though,
You know.
because
Yes.
even with all of this, this person's not a project.
That
You gonna
part.
have to put up with something.
Yes,
Mm-hmm.
you have to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Something.
Yeah.
And we have
Do
to
you have the graceful?
Yeah, we have
Well-
to have grace and recognize, like, just like this person got to put up with something with me. I have
gotta
to be
put up-
willing to have grace
of
with them. Now, if
course.
they hit you
Yeah.
upside your head and crazy stuff,
Yeah.
that's one thing.
Yeah.
But just stuff that people have to grow out of, and even if the person doesn't grow out of it, things
Yeah.
that are just a part of this person's personality that's not harmful
Yes.
to you.
Yeah.
It's like, come on
Because you
now.
got to realize
So there'll be something with
we all
everybody.
came out
Yeah.
of different homes.
Yes.
That part.
Everybody came out of a
Absolutely.
different
That
home.
part.
Yeah.
Everybody had different
Things that they-
things that were poured into them based on the home they was brought up in.
Yeah.
And, some people were brought up in toxic homes.
Yeah.
Some people were brought up in homes that were toxic but religious.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it was
different.
toxic at the same time.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So we all grew up differently.
Yes.
And so we can't go into relationships, I don't believe, expecting someone to be like me.
Right.
That's
Ooh.
that's
Learning
a perfect part.
how to honor another person's opinions and feelings, even if it's contrary to your own. That is a skill worth cultivating for any area of your life.
And it's difficult.
Yeah.
It is difficult.
It is.
Yes.
I know she cut the onion the opposite way of the way I was raised,
The onion.
You got
but
that.
I learned how to adapt to the onion being cut.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Your food was still
'Cause a
good.
man-
Ain't one way
Yeah.
to skin the cat.
Yeah, it's more than one way to skin the cat. That's for sure. And she said, "You know what? You hold the tail while I skin this cat."
Yeah.
And I just said, "Well, let me hold the
I
tail."
need your muscle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hold that cat
I like
down.
this.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
So
we all have to get to a place, and I know we need to wrap this up here.
I just had a question for you guys. Did you ask Mrs. Carter for grace and for patience with you when you guys started dating? Because you knew you wanted to stop the crack cocaine. Did you ask her to wait for you?
No.
No.
So do you
He
guys,
wasn't on crack when we first started dating. So,
Yeah,
but
I was just 12 when we
Yeah.
started dating.
We started-
Like, I did not
he wasn't
just
I
on-
didn't get on crack till I was 13.
You know, stop lying.
I'm
He
just
lied. He lied. He lied. He lied. Yeah. So no, most people. I'm gonna be honest with you. No, he didn't ask, and nor did I ask. We just I didn't ask him to have patience and grace give me grace or patience for me and all the things that I went through. It just, or nor did he. But what I did have, I knew he had a good heart. And so the one thing that was always my, I guess I want to say my security is I knew his heart. His heart was good. And so I don't know. What about you?
What about me?
What made you? How did you?
yeah.
She wanted same thing.
What?
Did you give Miss Carter grace and patience when
Well,
she?
I have to say yes. You have to give people grace because everything ain't hunky dory. It
All
wasn't
the
peaches
time.
and cream, and so she's done things, throughout her life as a young person growing up. And there are things that she did that contrary to what I wanted her to do. But at the same time, I had to understand I maybe, because of who I was, forced her into doing some things that she didn't even really want to have to do.
yeah.
But because I was the individual I was, and I have to give myself grace. And instead of her more than giving her grace, I had to give myself grace to forgive her.
Yeah.
I had to forgive me and understand that I was the root of a lot of the problem that she had to face.
Yeah.
Because I wasn't being the man that needed to be for her
That
to not have to go
accountability.
Yeah.
in those
And
roads that she went down in life.
All
That
right,
makes
then.
sense?
Say that thing, baby.
We love when a man can
we love
look,
an accountable king.
Yeah.
Say that. What is that?
We love an accountable king.
Listen.
That's
Not
right.
that we
He ain't
ain't
placed
got,
nobody.
but an accountable king.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right.
Well, we're
gonna wrap this show up. But it's been so good. I hope that y'all have gotten a couple good nuggets out of this show. What are your final thoughts?
My final thought is, I'm gonna save mine. What's yours? I always got to take stuff first.
I'm gonna give you a final thought.
He give me your right to
You're going to give me my final thought.
I'm gonna give a final thought.
Oh,
okay.
A final thought. Final thought. Love yourself first before you start thinking that you can love someone else. If you don't love yourself, it's going to be virtually impossible for you to have and give love to someone else.
That's so good.
Final
good
thought.
one.
My final thought is love will never come without challenges. So if you're with someone and you all are experiencing what we talked about earlier, of you all are kind of butting heads, there feels like there's tension in that relationship, take time to get to know your partner's story and their background. Because like Brother Carter said, we've all come from different households. We have different worldviews, different perceptions on things. And so getting to know someone's story is going to help you to show them more grace and compassion. If God has put you with that person, then you have the grace and the patience and the long suffering to endure this season.
Enduring power.
It won't always be like this.
all right then.
Sade.
Tiara, Sade. Yep.
I had it and then I lost it at the end.
Oh.
Yeesh. All right. Now you want to go and then it's going to come back to it?
Yes.
It's coming back to you. I feel it.
Know that whatever you have went through, it's okay. It's okay. You know, don't get to a place that you feel like, oh, I messed up so bad. It's okay. Just know it's okay.
That's good.
I like that, Val. That's very good. What you just said. That is so powerful. What you just said right there.
I agree.
Because a lot of people feel with so much guilt, shame, and
Yeah.
of things that are happening, and like everybody have skeletons in their closet.
Yeah.
You know, and so nobody wants the closet to be open of their entire life. Nobody
Yeah.
wants that at all.
But it's
And
okay.
so understand that you do have skeletons, and that your significant other may have skeletons also.
Yeah.
And so you learn to just, I don't mean to give another
no,
final
It's your
thought,
show.
but like you was asking, learn to give yourself some grace.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then if you give yourself some grace, understand that you got skeletons in your own closet, then you might be receptive or not so energized to open the doors to somebody else's closet.
Oh,
Yeah.
There you go.
now that is good.
Yeah.
That's it right there.
Yeah.
Because sometimes when you're pointing out all the flaws in another person, you're deflecting from your own.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
exactly what they're doing. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
That's a whole nother conversation.
Maybe you're the project and not your partner.
Yeah.
Maybe the project needs to be you. What you need to focus on is yourself.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. And that came from a
Drop mic.
licensed therapist.
You
Okay.
got a final thought?
Sade's ready with her.
Sade.
Sade.
Y'all taking all the good stuff. I was
Pick it back then.
I was just thinking about
Just a
how
piggyback.
self-awareness is kind of like the center of everything. It's the center of your relationship with the Lord, and it's the center of your relationship with everybody else. So if you just cultivate that self-awareness, whether that be through journaling, whether that be through going to a therapist, meditate, like whatever that looks like, cultivating that self-awareness, it makes it easier for you to have grace with other people, because when you're more aware of, dang, I really be doing this. I show up in a way that I don't know if I'm necessarily comfortable with. It makes it easier for you to have grace for other people's flaws. So cultivate that self-awareness with yourself, and I'm sure you'll find that your relationships with other people are more fulfilling.
Now that girl say cultivate your own flaws before you start flawing on other folks.
Right. You just
This is a really good show.
Anna, do you have a final thought?
I think you guys said it all. You guys said everything perfectly.
Okay, then.
This is me therapizing, because I went through that. I went through my ex guy trying to make me his project or making me submissive. I'm like, no, I got places to go. I got things to do. Period.
All right,
People to
then.
see.
Wow.
Nobody make you submissive. You just be submissive on your own.
That's a whole nother
Give me
topic.
something to submit to.
Yes, exactly.
Thank you for
Yeah.
tuning in to another popping episode of Tasteful and Toxic.
Yes.
I'm your co-host, Steph Cash, and Brother Carter. Bye-bye.
Bye.